is week freaking 17, man.
17.
Week in
Yeah.
17, man. This is awesome, man. So week 17, uh, uh, the redemption, a laboratory of redemption, the 100K club. This is week 17 of all of that. We've been speaking about this for the past few weeks, so I know you guys. For those who don't know, the laboratory of redemption is a place where we can come and correct the missteps. Make things right. Sometimes some people are a little behind. I'm a little behind on where I need to be in life. So I'm here in the laboratory of redemption, and in order to make those adjustments and make that right. And this is the place where I can do it, and where I found that I can do that. Part of that is the 100K club. Being in the 100K club is one of the goals that we try to attain, that we are going to attain, and that helps us to make up where we are in life. The 100K club is 100K a month. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to get. It's not something that we cannot attain. It's right there at the end of our fingertips. So it's a little slow right now. We still want to get that. That is our target, to get to the 100K club. So in the meantime, while it's slow, we're going to take what we need to do to get prepared for that. Now, that's going to be the word for this week is preparedness. What can we do to get prepared for the upcoming, storms, the upcoming storm season? Preparedness to becoming an adjuster, things of that nature. Things outside of the norm. Just to get prepared. It's a little slow right now, so it's a good time to, do those continued education, to get into the exact man and things of that nature. So we're going to have a great call today, guys. We got a couple of really, really great speakers. Guest speakers, Mr. Tyson Harmon. He's going to be joining us today. Mr. Harmon is a contractor. He's also a licensed adjuster. Sorry about that. He's going to be speaking with us, and giving some of his background information, and talking to us as far as something like how this group would be able to benefit him, and so I'm looking forward to that. We're also going to be hearing from our very own Toby Rowe. So she is going to be speaking with us today, talking about, as far as what she has going on, her history, her background, and just, familiarizing, letting you guys get familiar with her. So she's going to be, kind enough to take the time out of her busy day to get into that. And that's not really a big thing for her, as far as she's not always up front. So for her to take the time and open herself up to introduce is going to be great for that. So let me see. Right now, I will be. Also, guys, just a quick reminder: if you can drop and fill out the forms in the in the chat, not in the chat, but also in the Discord. That's what I was trying to think of. In the Discord, in the chat, but in the Discord, there's information. If you guys can fill out that, man, so we can get in contact. Again, we have a lot of things that we're working on that's on the cusp of being released and being out. So I definitely advise you guys to fill out that information to stay in the loop, so that we can include you guys in that information as it comes forward with us. So, but right now, I will bring Ms. Janae to the floor so that we can go ahead and keep the show on the road and bring in our next guest. So, Ms. Janae, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and take the floor, please.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys can hear me. Happy Sunday. I want to start off by saying thank you guys for joining us, because, it is Sunday. So you could be doing anything else with your time. So thank you for that. Like Michelle, as a reminder, the contact form, I think Major just put into the chat, so you could fill that out. That's basically so that we can reach out to you guys when we have different resources coming up, whether it's job openings, different trainings that we are definitely working on for you guys, or any other information. Oh, also, if Major could put that in the chat for us, the YouTube channel link, where you can pretty much go back and rewatch all of these calls that you may have missed in the past. For those who don't know, my name is Janae. I've been adjusting for, I want to say a year, but it hasn't even been a year yet. I just started at the top of this year. So just about 10 months. I came into the industry not knowing, came into the industry with no experience really. And I am currently deployed in the Chicago area. So I'm happy to still be deployed right now because it is the slower season. And we are speaking on the topic of preparedness this week. So with that said, because it is the slower season, I would say to for those who have their license or are thinking about getting licensed, if you're thinking about it, now is the best time to do it. Like I said, it is the slower months right now. So study for your license.
All right, good deal. So it's a good time to study for your license. I guess that's what she's about to say. But if you can't cut the cameras
Is
on,
she frozen?
we love to see the cameras on. We love to see you. I know you guys are beautiful out there. Should be back on. There she go. All right, you got
Did my camera cut off? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it froze.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that. Did y'all hear what I was saying though?
I finished it for you.
No. Dang. Oh man, that's messed up. I don't know where I lost you guys, but I was basically saying just this is a slower season. These are the months to get prepared for those events that come up in the spring. If you are licensed already, that's getting on rosters, looking into different trainings, whether it's Xactimate or virtual or in-person trainings with these firms. You definitely want to familiarize yourself with that. And I said for the people who are not licensed yet, this is the perfect time to go out and do that because, like we said, this is the slower months. With that said, I just want to introduce our very own Miss Toby Rose. She's our adjuster spotlight for this week. Toby, if you could just let everybody know how you got started, how long you've been adjusting for, and yeah, take it from there.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I have been adjusting for about 3 years now. I have had a pretty lengthy background in oil and gas. I worked corporate for about 26 years and I had my own consulting business for about 20 years. So pretty wide background there. I lost my job a few times due to market fluctuations in the last 6 to 8 years and found myself unemployed for the last time I think I was unemployed for about 8 months. I decided I needed to find something that was a little bit more resilient as far as not being affected by the economy. Travis pointed out to me that, I could very well be an insurance adjuster. He had been doing it a couple years prior to that. And, I was leery at first.
Of course.
Being in oil and gas for so long, it was not something that was easy to think about. I also have my degree in accounting, so that was an alternative plan. And then Travis showed me that paycheck. And I had actually, been doing Travis's big. I had actually been doing Travis's paycheck or tax returns for a couple of years, and so I was like,
so you knew how much he was making.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't so easy in the beginning, right? He talks about those hard days. He didn't have a lot of guidance in the beginning. He didn't, maybe even some misguidance, so to speak. And so once there was a turnaround, there was a really big turnaround. He walked me through the steps of how to get licensed and how to get deployed. And it's all kind of history from there.
Right. So talk to me a little bit about your first deployment. How did that come about? How long were you there for? How much money did you make?
So my first deployment, so Travis has a very good friend who lives in the same state. I live in Oklahoma, and Travis has a very good friend who lives in the same state as me, who is also an insurance adjuster. I believe he's staff now. But I had been trying to get on a deployment for a couple weeks and there was nothing coming up. And he said, get a hold of this person right now they're deploying me to South Carolina. If you want to follow me on the drive out there, you can do that. He was actually taking his wife and baby with him, so I ended up rooming with them in a hotel room. And just side note, that is such a bonus to having a community of adjusters around you who are, they have a servitude mentality. They want to help people, they want to pay it forward. And that's really what this community is here for. But my first deployment was in South Carolina. It was a wind event, downgraded from a hurricane. It was, I believe, Hurricane Sally. I was deployed for 3 weeks, no training whatsoever, handed me a laptop and told me I had 21 claims and I needed to close them.
That's typically how it goes. Don't we know it? So with that
Absolutely.
said, like a community like this, I mean, I know would have helped you tremendously, but can you explain to other people how it would have?
Yeah, absolutely. Being that far, I think I was about 1,200 miles away from home. So you're away
Mm,
from your loved ones, you're away from your friends and family. So just to be able to reach out to fellow adjusters for some camaraderie, it would be a tremendous help to be able to know, I luckily at that point had somebody that I could lean on. But let's say, for instance, my second deployment, which was in Houston, I where do you find a hotel room that is reasonable? And if you don't have a savings built up or don't have a ton of credit cards, and you have to pay it directly out of your pocket week by week when you're waiting on a paycheck to come in, being able to reach out to other adjusters and maybe room with them or things like that, or just asking questions about how to live an adjuster life in general and not kind of lose your mind. uh, it having a community like this makes that a lot easier, living on the road, not knowing what to expect day by day.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, and I will say, I didn't answer you. My first paycheck, my first full paycheck
Right.
was around, I think my bring home was 7,800. I think my gross was 8,800, somewhere
Oh,
around there. So having absolutely no experience in the industry, not much experience in construction, to be honest, right out the gate, making that kind of money is unheard of.
so really quick, I know you say having no experience, of course. Even when you first started, like, was that pretty daunting for you? Like coming from a different field, like how how did you kind of
I'm
like
pretty
navigate that?
bold. I always say I will try anything once,
Mm,
but it was daunting,
mm,
again, I don't know if a lot of people understand being that far away from home and being that far away from
mm,
your loved ones,
mm,
your children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it might be, that plays a real psychological role on you. Um, even though you might have confidence and believe in yourself, that still has a tendency to bring you down a couple levels. So yes, it was very daunting. And especially working for the firm I was working, not the firm, I'm sorry, the carrier I was working for at the time, they have a lot of processes that are duplications and a lot of different systems that you have to learn. I'm sure
mhm.
a lot of you here in the room know what I'm talking about. Working for Big Red, there's a lot of duplication, a lot of different systems that you have to learn. And for about the first 3 days, I literally just sat there and stared at my laptop. And I'm a self-taught learner anyway.
Mm,
But it was very intimidating, especially being the only female in the room.
right.
That's another factor that we have to deal with as well.
You okay?
Before I finish up with you, Toby, Miss
Come on,
Wanda
let's go
Jackson,
out.
did you have a question?
I do. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. My name is Wanda Jackson. That happens to be my beautiful niece, Janae, and I'm so proud of her. But I have the question I have, because I've been on the call for the last couple of weeks, and just to hear what's going on. But the question I have is, I wanted to see if someone could speak more to, because this is an adjuster job, but everybody is not available to travel. And I wanted to hear sometime maybe down the road from someone who is being successful in this program but cannot travel right now because young kids, but can work online diligently and get some things done. So I would like to hear from someone who had success in that type of area in this adjuster arena.
Right. As a desk adjuster or such. Yeah, we could definitely speak to
You
that.
could be very successful working as a desk adjuster. I think we might even have a few in the room right now on the call. I presently am on deployment, but I am working from my home state. I requested to work from my home state just to due to some personal and family issues. I have a son who has had some issues with some mental health issues. And so I needed to stay close to home. And, I've never worked as a desk adjuster, so I don't even 100% know if that's something that would work for me. But because I have a tendency of not being able to really sit still. But that being said, I requested a deployment in my home state, and the firm I work for finally pulled through, and I've been here since the middle of August now. So that's something that individuals can look toward also.
Oh, so that sounds
we
good.
could.
So you would just, like you just said, request in your home state, and hopefully you could get something that would allow you to stay home, and do both, be a field adjuster and be a desk adjuster, I think you called it.
Yeah, well, just briefly, I'll mention a very large majority of your work is from the desk anyway. So you'll go out and perform your field inspections for the first part of your day. I happen to be in the field for a lengthy amount of time just because my claims are in a different area. I drive about 4 hours when I do field inspections. But the majority of my time and the majority of anyone, let's say, for instance, my last deployment I was in Minnesota. We were back in our hotel room by 12:30, 1 o'clock doing our paperwork. So I would say 75, maybe 65% of your work is technically desk work anyway.
And so the first step is just to really deal with this exam and pass this exam,
get
and
licensed.
then move on. All right, Janae, I'll be talking to you about that down the road, so I won't hold up.
Yeah, and we could try to get
time.
some other people that are desk adjusters or staff adjusters online to speak.
That would be nice too.
Absolutely.
We have another question from Miss Pamela.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna take my hand down, or will you take my hand down? Okay, take my hand down. Thank you for that very much.
No problem.
Welcome, Miss Wanda.
Thank you.
Toby, my last question for you actually was, do you have any advice for the people that are maybe making a career change? They've been in a certain career for a while, and they may be on this call and they may be thinking about it. Do you have any advice for them?
Absolutely. I would say take the leap of faith, first of all, because it is very much worth it, both financially and spiritually. I am a empath by nature. Some people don't believe that because I don't come across that way in the business world. But when there is a job to get done, there's a job to get done. But I feel like I also have a very servitude personality. I volunteer with the homeless, things like that. But this helps me, being in the oil and gas industry, I didn't feel like I was really helping much of anybody. It's a very financially driven, capitalized environment. And this really helps me feel like I help people.
I agree 1,000%. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. And so financially, it's very much worth it. I have been able to take off for lengthy periods of time when my family needs me present. I can go on vacation when I want to go on vacation because I pretty much set my own schedule. I brought my partner into the industry as well, and so we're able to work together and spend the majority of our time together. You know, if that was if that wasn't the case, you know, we would have been not where we are in a relationship stance,
Right.
to be honest, because I would have been working, you know, my third deployment was 8.5 months. But yes, anybody
Wow.
who's looking to change careers and do this, just go ahead and take that leap of faith, because it's very little investment and a very large return.
Right. And now you got us, so that's also very
Right.
helpful.
Right. And I do want to speak very briefly on preparedness. With being an insurance
Yes.
adjuster, you have to be prepared for everything. And when I say that, I mean everything from leaving on, you know, when they call you out on deployment, you have about 2 days before you have to be where they're calling you out to. You have to be prepared for them to cut you and say, okay, you're being released. And now within 2 days, you have to be prepared to go home. You have to be prepared whether you're going to pull up at an inspection and a contractor is going to be there, which typically can be sometimes a confrontational situation if they strongly believe that there's storm-related damage and you can't necessarily find that storm-related damage and justify it. But you have to be prepared whether there's going to be a contractor there or not. So I kind of go into the situation thinking, oh, it doesn't matter if there's a contractor there. I'm going to do my job regardless of what the other individual is really trying to point out. You have to be prepared by having your equipment. You have to be prepared financially. You know, being prepared is really the only way that you're going to stay successful in this industry.
Yep. Absolutely. Got to stay organized too. Thank you so much, Toby. I appreciate all of that.
You're
I know we do
welcome.
have another person, Miss Pamela Forbes. You have a question?
Yes, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Just want to say I was invited by your auntie. We went to grad school.
Oh,
we've been friends ever since.
nice.
I have a couple of questions. I actually run across something like this some time ago online, and I was wondering, I'm a licensed financial planner and insurance agent for New York Life, but I was wondering, there's a couple of words that you guys have been throwing around, and I kind of wanted to understand how this particular thing works. So when you say deployed, does that mean you're on an assignment somewhere? And is that deployment typically because there was some natural disaster?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So typically if there's like a hailstorm somewhere and it's, you know, influx of claims, they will contract out what we are insurance adjusters or independent insurance adjusters. And then they'll send us to those areas to kind of help, you know, relieve some of that, the load on the staff adjusters in that area.
Okay, and that would typically be working or contracted out for a insurance company.
Yes, like State Farm, Liberty Mutual, or yeah.
Okay, perfect. And contractors on the scene, is that an issue? Is that like they throw hands? What do they do?
It's not an issue. I mean, for me, from my perspective, somebody else could take the lead on this, but from my perspective, we're there for the same things, basically. Like, I want to find all the damage that I can find. They want the same thing. At times, you know, not everybody is honest and they want to, you know, just try to push you to see things that aren't really there sometimes. So me personally, I've never been in a conflict with a contractor because I'm not here to argue, period. You know, I'm not here to argue.
All right. So just so I have a clear understanding of how this works, it's basically, I'm guessing it looks like you guys provide some type of training or study guide. So you take the exam for the adjuster, you pass the exam. And then what happens next? I mean, being away is not a problem. I'm licensed in, I don't know, a lot of states, I think like 35 now. So I can actually work from wherever I am, but I'm just curious, once you're licensed, what are those next steps? What are they look
like? Anybody want to take this? What are the next steps after your license? Typically, you try to get on people's rosters, whether like different firms' rosters.
Yep. Pretty much,
of course, there are like top 10 firms that are like very large. You want to, of course, hit those first. And typically you kind of just wait around for events to happen. You know, we are storm related. And there's some areas where there's always constantly events happening. But most of the time that's what we wait for. Like we said, right now is a slower months. Typically, in the winter months, you may get some claims where it's like water pipes and stuff like that. That's how I first got started in January. There was, you know, an event in South Carolina. But typically we kind of wait around for those things. Meech, did you want to chime in?
Yeah, because I just wanted to say, in addition to that, it depends upon your experience. If you're proficient in things like Xactimate already, you can go, once you have your license, you can write estimates for attorneys, contractors, things of that nature that need that. You don't have to wait on some type of event in order to have work. If you know there are other avenues that you can utilize your justice license in,
Especially once
then
you get some experience. Yeah.
especially once you get experience. But like I said, if you
Mhm.
come into it and you already have a little bit of experience, or if you know Xactimate or something like that, you can come right in and start working. You know, like I said, contractors are looking for people to write estimates all the time. Attorneys, they hire work to write their estimates that they have all the time. There's things like that that you can find that you can put into work, and while you're waiting on a catastrophe, while you're waiting on something like that. So
Mhm.
you can utilize it, but yeah, for the most part, you get your license. Once you get licensed, you get onto these firms. You get on the more
Mhm.
firms. The more firms you get on, the more opportunities that you may get out. And depending upon, are you open to being in the field, or you open? Do you just want just desk? Do you just want to work from home? So depending upon what you
Mhm.
have as your availability, of course, increases your options and chances of getting deployed. So it varies depending upon things, but that's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
So much. I have a better understanding.
Yes. And if you can just fill out that contact form, you can always reach out to us. We can send you other resources and stuff like that.
Okay,
But thank you for the question.
thank you.
Meech, you want to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker?
Yes, I will. Then you guys can take right back over. Okay, so so coming up again, man, I'm going to introduce Mr. Tyson Harmon, man. He's going to be joining us to speak with us. Tyson is currently a contractor. He's a contractor for Aspen Contracting right now. Like I said, he does have his adjustance license. He's
Mhm.
from Indiana, but he lives in Missouri right now, guys. So I am going to introduce Mr. Tyson Harmon. Janae's going to jump right back in and help along this process. But guys, Mr. Tyson Harmon, if you wouldn't mind coming on in, man, and telling us your
Yeah,
story, man,
just
we'd love to hear it.
introduce yourself a little and just let us know how you got started in the roofing business.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Tyson, and can you guys hear me and see me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, cut
Yes.
the camera on, man. You beautiful, brother. Cut the camera on, man. You beautiful, bro. I met
Thanks.
you.
5 years ago, I was a builder. I was building new homes in South Carolina. I received a phone call from a high school friend that works for Aspen Contracting, and he just told me about this industry that I had no idea about. I'd never even heard of storm restoration companies. Never heard of them. And it took him 3 months to basically convince me to come along, because I mean, just like an adjuster, I'm being deployed to catastrophes all over the United States. I worked in 18 different states over the last 5 years. I've done
Oh,
over
okay.
Yeah, I've done over 875 roofs, or
Dang.
replaced 75 roofs plus siding and gutters, and the whole shebang. I've worked one hurricane that was in Louisiana, and that was the most awful experience of my life. I lasted 2 weeks there, and I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
And why was that? So I'm
well,
sorry. I'm just
oh no, that's fine. It's this helps me because I'm not used to Zoom calls or being a public speaker, if you will. So,
oh, you're doing great.
it was the deductibles that these folks had to deal with on, and
Mm,
I mean, when you go down there and you look at a damaged roof, and there's 19 different shingles, colors, different brands all over it.
right. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's very difficult as a roofer to uh, to get those to overcome those deductibles.
Hmm.
Because not a lot of folks down there have that type of money, and it was just awful. But anyway, so my friend taught me into it, and so I came aboard. And ever since then, I've been fascinated more on the adjuster side of it. I love climbing roofs. I'm nicknamed Spider Monkey through my. I'll climb 12s all day long with no problem.
Wow.
And get my photos. I'm also a licensed drone pilot, and
Mhm.
just that aspect of it has been really fun and really fulfilling, because I mean just the photo profiles that I put together for my supplements to the
I'm
carriers.
sure they look real good.
Oh yes, yeah, and they're very, very detailed. I take pride in that. But since I've
So,
been,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, since I've been with a restoration company and dealing with insurance adjusters, I've met a lot of good people, and I've met a lot of not so good people.
Hmm.
um, a lot of staff adjusters that I've noticed over the years, they seem to basically, it's their money that they're giving out, and it's kind of, it's been a little rough. Now, independence, I love independent adjusters. I love them.
That's all I ever hear when I'm in the field.
Yep. Oh yes, and going back to what um Roby or Toby, I'm sorry,
Toby. Hmm.
and about contractors, there are a lot of shady contractors. I mean, and basically
Hmm.
for, blistering, mechanical, and things like that. But to me, and the way that I was trained, this, it has to tell a story all the way around, all the way around.
Hmm.
I mean, if you don't have splatter, there was no hail, and things like that.
Hmm.
So, and I've written just myself over probably 125 no damage reports, because
Oh
I'm
wow.
not something that's not there. I'm not wasting the homeowner's time, not wasting the adjuster's time, and obviously I
Hmm.
don't want. Um, but this, it's been fun. It's been real fun, and one of the reasons why I want to transition is because I'm self motivated. I'm self driven. So I'll get up as soon as the sun breaks. As soon as it's up, I'm on top of a roof. I'm on top of it.
Okay, that's just like our very own Travis,
Yeah,
just like that guy. Just as soon as the sun breaks, all right, we starting this inspection.
that's exactly.
So I know you said that you have your adjuster's license, right?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience as a contractor dealing with adjusters?
It's been positive and negative.
Hmm.
Mostly positives. Some of the things that I've seen, and this just goes back to just not knowing, anything about construction on their part. Um,
Hmm.
and basically, it's like, if I spend enough time, which 9 times out of 10, I'll already have an estimate put together. I'll have my scope done. Because I've already been at the property, and I meet the adjuster when they set the appointments.
Hmm.
So I have most of all that together. But when an adjuster doesn't really know how to put on a roof properly, that makes it
Hmm.
very. I'm having to spend X amount of time to send in a supplement, and then prove the photos, and then it goes to a desk adjuster, and then or a cat manager, and the process is just so unnecessary.
Slow.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, in my truck, well, I just took it out because I'm purchasing a new vehicle. But I have basically, it's a mobile office. I have my laptop, my printer, everything that I need. And when I'm on site at that point in time, I write my estimate right then and there, and I produce it to the homeowner, to the insured. I got to get my verbiage right. Um, but that's the way that I think, that because the efficiency of my day depends on how prepared I am, and I want to be prepared in every aspect. If I don't know something, I will find it. I will find out. But basically, just with a new adjuster, and there's a lot of new adjusters. I've seen people that were deployed the very first deployment, been with the companies for 2 weeks, and I'm like, hey, do you know what that is right there? Like, no. And I'm like, okay, that's drip edge. And there's a difference between drip edge and gutter apron. And their pricing and Xactimate and Symbility are completely, there's a difference. And then, like using starter, they're like, well, what is starter? And it's like, oh my gosh. So I'm educating out there, but I've met a lot of great people, And I love this industry on this side of it, but I want to be on that side of the fence.
So like you said, you're transitioning. You haven't had a deployment as an adjuster.
No, I'm in Hot Springs, Arkansas, working the storm here. So I'm still a contractor.
Oh, you're still a contractor. Yeah, when you become an adjuster, you're gonna kill. That's gonna be easy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm so excited. I'm nervous. My gosh, I'm nervous.
Nervous.
I've been doing this for 5 years, and like with my company, I've gone from a newbie to a top trainer in my company, and we Aspen Contracting is one of the largest residential roofing companies in America. We're all over the United States. So if you guys ever see anybody from Aspen Contracting, just tell them, I said hi.
That's what's up. No, but still, you're gonna there's nothing for you to be nervous about, man. You already know everything you basically need to know, and you know what insurance companies don't accept as far as on their supplements. So you are going to kill once you get out there. That's for sure.
I'm hoping so.
That's for sure. Does anybody have any questions for Tyson?
My questions are more estimate writing type of questions. What do you run into normally, man, when you're submitting your supplements? As far as what is something that's just pretty much reoccurring that you submit for?
Well, and one thing is adjusters don't take the time to find out what codes are in the municipalities, and that goes a long way, because once you know that, it's already there. You can, for ice and water shield in the valleys or on the eaves or the rakes or the eaves, I'm sorry. And knowing the distance for the eave overhang and how much to calculate for. But it's that. I mean,
knowing the codes.
Yeah, knowing
right. Knowing the codes, knowing that's what should be written initially in the estimate. If you got ice and water shield, that should be there. So you're just saying, go ahead and write for those code things instead of having you coming back and supplementing for it.
Yes, and that's what I go into when I'm an adjuster. That's what I'm going. I mean, one click is amazing. I mean, it's just as simple. It's cheap.
I did recently download that.
Did you? It's. I mean, it's and when I supplement all my supplements, which if I'm on site, like I said, I've done over 875 roofs. So that's 800, well, give or take, adjusters that I've met. And just basically educating them, and then they educate me on their cans and can'ts. I mean, some carriers will not allow for some things, or use like Symbility, and we as contractors can stand Symbility because it's.
I heard that. Yeah, it's the pricing is horrible in Symbility, is what I've heard.
Is it very much so, and every is different in the United States. So, like, I'm in 71913. If you go up to Iowa, for a roof here in this zip code, and the pricing, it's like $300 a square. Up in Iowa, you're looking at $650, $700 a square.
Oh,
so
man.
Just that is where, I mean, anything of northern states, and obviously, like Florida and Texas, I mean, your prices are good. So your deployment for 6 months, and you might make, $300,000 versus being here in Arkansas. And it's just not, it's hard to hit that goal being in this area, because it's the traffic.
Absolutely. I get that. Cool, man. Yeah, I'd be safe to say that you would, if you can give advice to the adjusters, one of the things would be to learn your codes and everything in the area that you're in. One of the first things you want to do.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, you're working in tandem in a sense with the contractor. That's what But I mean, I'm not there trying to, have them pad some estimates so I can make more money, because
Absolutely.
I'm ethical and fair, but and I want the same respect. I'm not, as far in Xactimate, I mean, you can use codes, it's like with or without felt, and then include dump and things like that. And I know
Right.
they want you to use the line item 300, S to include everything. And we as contractors, I mean, which I don't personally take that money out of my pocket, but that hurts my bottom line on my pay, or my commission.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely,
And
man. Thank you
typically when
so
I
much,
first get
man.
on a deployment, I usually do ask about the code. I usually ask the contractor, is there any codes in this
Right.
city or in this town or the state? Yeah.
Yep, I'm definitely going to be implementing that, like just as a standard from here on out. So
Right.
I'll be doing that, man. So thank you so much for that, Tyson, man. Does anyone have any
Yeah,
questions,
thank
man,
you.
before we end this
That
segment
was
with
great.
Tyson? Anybody, any hands? Okay.
I can't wait to hear your
Hey, Tyson
transition
did great.
though, because I know he's gonna kill.
Tyson did very well. He did really good. And he is
Absolutely.
a killer in the game. He's made.
He's gonna kill once he adjusts. Oh
He's
my
really good.
goodness.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm
When I
ready to
met
take some
him,
lessons already.
Mhm.
I'm so impressed.
Mm.
Can you guys hear me?
It's
Breaking up a little
a
bit.
little bit.
Can you
Yeah.
guys hear me?
Breaking up a little.
Of course I am. How about now? How about now?
Good.
Okay, good.
He's
Y'all
so
was talking about
cute.
Mike Tyson perfection. He was
Sorry.
very thorough. He knew his business. He was very easy to talk to. It was just an exciting guy to talk to. I was excited about it because he was there to serve the client, make his money, and get out the way. That was it.
Absolutely.
Nothing in
And get the
between.
results
Nothing more.
just like you,
Just
huh?
get to the results, and that was exciting. This ain't been an
Right.
adjuster. I said, "What, an adjuster?" I said, "Great. There's a community we got going on. Come join us."
Right.
So I'm proud of you.
Awesome.
So proud of you.
The reason
Yeah.
I just said that, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So he's the reason why. So I got on
That's
what
That's
is it,
beautiful.
Adjuster Pro, and I took the courses and I took my test.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is recent. Great.
I've been licensed since the 2nd of October.
Oh,
Awesome,
wow.
Yeah.
And look, man. Well, Tyson, look, we're gonna be getting back with you as
Yeah,
this
we gotta
thing
follow up.
progresses. So yeah, man, I need some follow up
Absolutely.
stories and how things are going and all of that good stuff. And from what it sounds like, man, you got plenty to bring and a lot of great tips, man. That I'm pretty sure a lot of people on here will benefit from. So, man, well, I
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
absolutely thank
Tyson.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for your time this Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. If there's nothing else, man, we're gonna keep this thing moving. One of the things I look forward to every week on this call is my man,
My
Coach
new favorite.
Ryan, coming with the financial tip of the week.
Yes,
So
sir.
this has been, I mean, he's been dropping gems. If y'all haven't heard or seen what he's been dropping these last couple of 2 or 3 weeks, y'all need to go back and check out the
Yeah.
YouTube videos, man, because he's been dropping some stuff that really can make a difference in your finances today. So without further ado, well, hold on. It looks like maybe there is a hand up. Is there a hand up?
I don't
Miss Wanda Jackson, is your hand up?
question.
Yes, my hand is up. Thank
All
you.
right, Miss Jackson, no problem at all. Go ahead.
Well, now I have two because I was looking at the chat and I saw what equipment should a new adjuster have.
Oh, right.
That
I
was one
did
I
see
just
that.
saw, but also I think I'm sorry, the gentleman that just finished speaking, he just became adjuster. That was my initial question. What's the cost and what is needed to get this on the, to get this ball rolling, to at least get past this exam, because that's the first thing you would
Mhm.
need.
Yeah.
So what kind of costs are we talking and material? And just like this young lady asked, what equipment should a new adjuster have?
As far as cost, it really varies from state to state. As far as like getting your license. Anybody else could jump in if they have anything else to add to that.
I say it's roughly in between $300 to $500. Sometimes I've seen courses as low as $325. I've seen them as high as $475. Then of course it costs about a few, like $50, $60 to apply to get the actual license once you pass your test and everything. So I say roughly about $500 or so to get the course and get the license. Somewhere around that area, not too much, above or below. Does that pretty much sound pretty much right, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
As far as
so
I was gonna say, as far as equipment goes, it
right.
depends. If you're in the field, State Farm, oh, well, I should say your carrier will give you, a computer. But as far as like the actual things you'll need several things, especially if you're in the field. You'll need a ladder. You'll need, boots, to get on the roof. You need a laser
Cougar
measure,
paws.
right?
Cougar paw.
You
Yeah, get
need
you some
tape
cougar
measure. You need
paws.
a
You're gonna
laser
need measuring
measure.
tape. Yep. You're gonna need chalk.
Yeah, yeah.
Things of that
There's
nature.
Cougar
There's a
paws
list of
we
items.
could put
Team,
together like a short list of
it's cougar
just like
paws. Somebody
pre-deployment. I'm sorry, I thought that was
tell
Kedro.
them what cougar paws are. They're not gonna
Oh,
know.
cougar paws are just a type of a name of like a type of a boot that they have available that attaches something on the bottom of it that just makes it a little easier for you not to slip off the roof.
Makes it a lot better, a lot safer up there. It's
Yeah, a
it's
lot
safety
safer.
equipment. It's safety equipment.
Yes.
So
That
it's just
sounds
one of
all
the things.
good. That sounds all good. But I
Okay.
know I'm not interested in getting on the roof. I'm too
For
old for
the
that.
field, right. But
So
as far
I
as
hear it, and that's
staff and
good.
desk positions, they do give you the equipment that you need.
That's
They
good.
definitely give you that
All
equipment.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
But
Um,
for those who don't really want to get on the roof, I understand, and that's great. Everybody doesn't get on roofs. There
yeah.
freeze claims that you go in people's houses, you go in their basements, and
Mhm.
there's no roof, there's nothing like that. So just because you don't want to get on a roof doesn't mean you can't ever get out into the field. There's a lot of different field opportunities that does not consist of getting on a roof. There's
Mhm.
commercial, there's crop, there's commercial crop, there's things of that nature. So again, within this career, this opportunity, there's a lot of different branches, man. So just because you don't want to get on the roof, you can still go
Yeah, you don't
outside.
have to exactly. You don't have to
And
get
that's
on the
just
roof.
property. You can go into the auto. You can go in an auto,
Mhm.
and of course, there's no getting on the roofs on the auto. So you can go out just looking at people's
Right.
cars, taking pictures, writing the
Oh,
estimate,
water.
things of that nature. So
And we're gonna
um,
try to get more people on here to speak to the auto side of it. I don't
absolutely.
have any experience in it, but it's a whole field that people they do very well in. So we're gonna try to
But
get
but
more people from
as
auto.
as far as just being in though, sometimes like for those that are just interested in working at a desk in an office or at home, yeah, there isn't a lot of equipment that you are going to need to purchase yourself. Usually, the firms that are signing those deployments, they will provide you with a laptop. They'll provide you, I mean, with screens
Laptop,
as well.
printer,
Yeah. So they'll provide you with
Wi-Fi,
the things
stuff
that you
like
need.
that. Hmm.
Hmm. So
You can also enlist you a partner to climb those roofs for you.
absolutely, that too.
That
That's an
too.
option.
I do know adjusters that refuse to get on a steep roof. They just won't do it. If it's a regular ranch style flatter roof, they'll do it, but steep roofs, they'll just get somebody else to do it. You really are
Absolutely.
independent. Like they just want to make sure you get them claims closed. That's all they
Yeah,
want.
you're
Close it
independent. You
as
can
fast as you
hire
can.
somebody. You can hire somebody to get on those roofs because you are an independent adjuster. So if you just want to sit up there and hire somebody for a couple of $100 to go up there and take some pictures, shoot the pictures back down to you, that's your business. So
Yep.
however State Farm, okay, you get those pictures in there. They prefer that you get up there and all of that stuff. But in your package, if you present to them what they're needing to acknowledge and right for the damage, then that's what they're looking for. So again, you are independent. You are a business. You're an independent adjuster. So within your business, you do what it needs to provide the information that's needed for that carrier. So that's all that they really concerned with. But you got options. There's a lot of different options. So there's not
There
just
are,
one way or one thing that you can do. There's a
right. I know
lot of
we speak
different
to
areas in
property a
this.
lot, but yeah, there are a lot of different options.
All
Absolutely.
right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Hmm.
No worries,
Just
man.
get
No worries.
licensed. That's all it takes. Get licensed.
That's step one. Step one, man. All
Step
right, man. So
one.
if there are no other questions, man, Coach Ryan, you go ahead and jump on,
Yes.
man, and give us that great word of financial advice.
Yo,
There
you
he
guys
is.
are businesses. So your contractors. I wouldn't necessarily consider this financial advice as more of as I would business advising.
There you go.
From a self-employed perspective. I want to stick with the topic of what we're talking about, which is preparedness. Major and I had a brief conversation about our economy and the conditions that exist right now this week. And I was telling him how some of the times that we're seeing right now are unprecedented from a real estate market perspective, from a stock market perspective. One of the indicators for that is you'll see just within the last couple of weeks, majority of stocks were at like what they consider 52-week lows or 1-year lows. But some data came out that Major and I talked about maybe a month ago. Travis and Meech, I think you guys are privy to the beginning of that conversation when it came into the hotel room in Michigan. What I'm seeing right now has really confirmed my outlook that I've had for the last 2 years, and it is that 2024 is, especially for my company, New Legacy Firm, is going to be the year of acquisition. The reason why I say that is because rates are extremely challenging to navigate right now, and that's any type of funding that you want to get. And so it's extremely important for us as adjusters, like the gentleman was saying, you may work for, 2 or 3 months out the year and make the majority of your money, but what are you doing in between while, or just like Janae said, you may, sit around and wait for that call for a deployment. So when we get these resources, we want to make sure that we're doing the things that will maximize them, right? And one of the things that he said was actually, I was posting links as the call started. So I posted 3 links. And those links were about how can we be prepared for as adjusters that are going to be going out to the field. One of the things that I've seen adjusters that are going out to the field do is they're going to get a truck, right? Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned that you were going to get a new vehicle. There's certain tax laws and codes out that allow us to go about this in a way that helps us to retain this money that we make while using write-offs after write-off after write-off. So one of those strategies is the electric vehicle tax credit. Yep. Now, the great thing about this tax credit, and the link it's the first link I posted, it's going to give you up to $7,500 back for an electric vehicle that you purchase. So I actually posted the link because I want you guys to be able to go and see this list, right? So that's $7,500. And then if you purchase the right EV truck that weighs over 6,000 pounds, that's another close to $30,000 write-off. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at a $30,000, potentially $30,000 in a write-off plus a $7,500 credit. And let's say this new vehicle that helps you be prepared for the field costs you $50,000, $60,000. Not only did you get that vehicle for significantly cheaper, but you got a vehicle that is going to save you on your fuel cost, as well as you have equity in this vehicle. So you put yourself in an even stronger position, right? So I just want to let you guys know that we want to position this year for the tax season that's coming, because the money that we're making, if we don't handle it the right way, you're going to find yourself at a disadvantage, because majority of us are going to get taxed at 40% or more on these large checks. And if this is why I started this call off, this week's segment off with you're a business, because tax codes, I think we have a financial planner on the line that can, attest to this. The tax code is written for businesses and entrepreneurs. It's not written for individuals. Mm-hmm. Right? So let's be smart. Let's start preparing for the tax season that's coming. Whatever your credits or incentives that you want to take advantage of, let's start preparing that now. If you're going to have mileage that you're going to claim, let's make sure we start preparing these documents, because here's why. In the year of acquisition, any funding that you get, whether it's the electrical vehicle or it's to purchase a home, they're going to go off of what's on your income statement with the IRS. That's what they're going off of, right? So we want to make sure that we can claim the proper deductions without lowering our adjusted gross income. Because once you start writing off a lot of things, like we talked about in the beginning, you start to bring your affordability down. But if you take advantage of some of these tax credits, because you know you're going to buy a truck anyway, right? Why not take advantage of a $35,000, $40,000 opportunity to buy that truck? It could be the difference between, you qualifying for that, primary residence or an investment property, or a business loan or something else that you want to invest in, because you have 9 months throughout the year that you may not work. So let's take advantage of the tax credits that's there. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up. We're going into an election year. Things look like they should be a lot better next year from that perspective, and I just want us to be prepared for it. So let's start getting ready for taxes. If you're going to get a vehicle, check out the links that I posted. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to give me a text or a call. That's my time.
Thank you. I need to look at that vehicle list.
Thank you, man. That's good stuff.
All links have been posted. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it.
Man, that's good
Thank
stuff.
you, Coach
As
Ryan.
always, Coach, man, dropping gems, man. Gems and gems and gems, man. So again, look at these YouTube videos. If y'all got some questions, because I know he dropped a lot of stuff, man. You may be thinking about something and he started talking about something else. So you got some stuff that y'all need to drop in there. And, he's always available. He's put in his contact information. He's availed himself to us, guys. So
I'm so happy he's on our team. I'm so happy.
Man. I would suggest reaching out and taking advantage of this opportunity that this community provides you. This community. I haven't seen this in any of the other communities and things that I've seen, on Facebook and everything. I don't know of any other place that's providing this type of information and these type of people to have at your access to utilize, not only just for adjusting, but for
Right.
life things.
Exactly, all around.
This isn't just about adjusting. This is 360. This is 360 degrees around you. That's why we are 360 adjusting. It's just not about adjusting physically, but adjusting all around you and making the proper adjustments in your life, adjustments in your finances, adjustments in everything, education. So that's what we're here for. We're happy you guys have joined us again for the 17th week. So look at week 18. We're going to have the show is going to continue. We're going to have a great call. We got a special guest speaker named Carmen Turner, who's going to be with us as the special guest. And if you guys were excited about Coach Ryan's tip, he's going to be with us as a Justice Spotlight next week. So just imagine the information and jewels that he's going to be dropping. He's going to also drop a little bit of his history and background to let you know what has made him the expert and the person that he is today that you see. So, guys, we really do hope you join us again for the next call. It'll be week 18. Guys, does anyone have anything before we go ahead?
I was going to say, again, just to fill out the contact form, of course, check out the YouTube page. And just, if you know someone that may benefit from some of this information, just shoot them the link for next week. Again, it's not just about adjusting, but you never know who you may come across throughout the week that could use the information. So
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we do have a Facebook, we got the YouTube, we got a link that's on there. So feel free to share that link. Invite somebody,
follow us.
Invite a couple of bodies. The more people, this is a great thing. And some of you guys that have been with us since day one, we know that you see the benefit in this. So go ahead and find somebody that you love and care about, that you think that will benefit from this, and invite them on into this, while the getting is good. And, so
because next year it's up.
Yeah. We're going to take off. So we would love to have those that have grown with us from the very beginning. We would love to have these testimonies of the people that join us and go through our program and everything that we're providing. So we would just love for this community to grow, and everybody could take part in the value that we already know and see that's there. And just joining us. So again, thank you guys for coming in to week 17. We look forward to seeing you on week 18.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? If there's nothing else for this official
Happy
part,
Sunday.
Go ahead and peace. I know some people gonna hang around and cheat that and do all that good stuff. But
we don't have Travis to dance us out. That's so sad.
Man, so somebody got Oh,
Point
shit. Hey, can't be see. All I see is teeth.
So point fingers ready to go.
All I
Oh,
see is teeth. So
oh
okay,
man. Well, thank you
all right,
guys.
I'll go ahead and
Happy Sunday.
happy
Oh
Sunday,
no,
guys.
Yeah,
Meech. That's not for you, Meech. Come on. Don't fill in for him.
I got it. Can't
Fly
see it.
Eagles fly.
Oh,
I sound like a hater. I heard a hater in the
that
background.
was
See, I ain't say nothing
unnecessary.
for the last 2 weeks.
Fly
I
Eagles
ain't said
fly.
nothing. Boy, I tell you, boy. I tell you, Sterling.
Hey.
Boy, Sterling, next time I see you, I'm going to thump you on your ear, boy.
On site, he said. On site.
Hey,
Oh
hey,
man.
Hey, my, hello.
hey, you know what's crazy?
Hey.
The Jets
It's
beat
my
the
right
Eagles,
here.
bro.
Hello.
What's crazy?
The
Oh,
Jets beat the
hello.
Eagles.
See?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's crazy that the Jets beat the Eagles. That's sick, actually. What?
Talk about it.
But anyway, but how about those Rangers? Really all I got to say.
I don't care about
Right.
baseball. Bye.
Texas Rangers.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Y'all the
Texas
little bros.
Rangers are number one.
The
Tell
little
them again,
bros.
Rick.
They
Tell them
are
again.
number
I'll
one,
take
the Texas Rangers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
anytime y'all got something bad to say about the Cowboys, I'm gonna just say Texas Rangers.
Yeah, that's
We
it.
got the
Leave it right
Astros.
there.
We got the Astros.
All right, man. Y'all have a great one. It's been
Yeah,
nice
All
meeting
right.
you, man. Take it easy, man. Be
All right,
blessed.
y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all.
Yes,
All
sir.
All right.
See the fingers. Here we go. All right, y'all.
We can't see it. We out.